Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Aran. Aran is from Dublin in Ireland. So let's see what Aran has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Aran. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, William? How are things?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for the interview. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for asking me.
So, tell me, how was your day today?
Yeah, today was pretty good. Yeah, I was just making a lot of content for social media. Usually not the most enjoyable days when you're a music producer usually, but I had fun doing it today.
I see. So, tell me, what was the highlight of your day today?
The highlight of the day today, I'd probably go for actually when I was walking my dog. So my dog's actually sitting just over here. Might be able to get him in the camera. He's very chill right now. Oh, there's the cat as well. There you go. But
Sweet.
so he has a group of friends. We've a professional dog walker in our area, and she walks lots of dogs. And she was out today, so he got to meet all his friends. So he's half golden retriever, half black lab, and he's hanging out with lots of other golden retrievers today. So that was definitely a highlight.
I see. So, tell me where you're from, Aran.
Where am I from?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm from Ireland. I'm from South Dublin. I'm currently living in North Dublin. I've lived in a few places around Ireland. I briefly lived in Germany as well, but yeah, from Dublin in Ireland.
What's the biggest joy of waking up in Dublin every morning?
Oh, the biggest joy of waking up in Dublin every morning. Um, that's a really good question. The biggest joy of waking up in Dublin, I guess. The one thing about Ireland that is really nice, and maybe that you appreciate when you go to different places, that is that people you meet here on the street are usually very friendly and are usually up for a bit of a laugh and a joke. Even if you don't know them. I just find sometimes, if you're traveling around, say like, I've noticed in like the US, even the UK a bit, people are a bit more guarded. Whereas in Ireland, people are always up for a bit of a joke. So I guess that would be biggest joy to waking up in Dublin.
Amazing. Okay, Aaron. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey. Okay.
Yes.
And tell me what you do for work for a living.
So for a living, right now, I'm doing lots of different musical things. So I think a lot of people who are in music these days, like you have to have multiple jobs. So I'm doing music production. I do a little bit of music journalism as well. Um, and yeah, I compose music for video games. I release music myself.
All right, Aaron. So I always ask my guests to bring here to the show, in the beginning of the interview, an object or maybe a photo, a picture, anything that means a lot to them. Do you have anything that you could share?
Yes, I do indeed. Yes, I have. It's actually on my wall behind me here. I'm gonna see if I can reach all the way. So my girlfriend helped me make this. This is so I'm really, really, apart from music, my biggest interest is history. And um this is the, I guess you call it like the sigil or the logo from ancient Carthage. So I'm a big fan of Roman history, and obviously Carthage was like Rome's biggest enemy, and yeah, I don't know. I've always been fascinated by that period of history. I always think how different the world would have been if Hannibal had a won, had to beat the Romans, because the Roman world has had so much influence in how we live our lives today. So that's what I brought with me. I'll give you another view again just so you can see. Thanks to my girlfriend for helping me make it.
Amazing. Wow, love it. Aaron, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So
Oh,
I have my
nice.
best friend. Full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Yes.
Amazing. Let's do it. Right, so before I start the interview, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, or you don't want to talk about, always can change. Okay?
Yes.
Amazing. First question is, what's the biggest difference between you and your best friends?
Me and my best friends. Oh, that's a really good question. I guess I would say that I'm self-employed and I do a lot of my work online, and it's they will be more so kind of working for different companies in different fields. Like my actual best friend is a police officer. Well, I guess the main difference is just that they all have kind of fixed times where they can kind of switch off, whereas I guess I'm always switched on.
And what's the biggest similarity between you and your best friends?
Biggest similarity will probably be probably the way we talk. Like we're all from the same part of Dublin, and we have like a lot of different mannerisms and yeah, turns of phrase that you probably only hear in that part of Dublin. Like some of them maybe they don't make that much sense to other people. So yeah, I guess that would be it.
And tell me, how did your path cross for the first time with your best friends?
For the first time, my best friends actually was when I graduated college. My first job I got was working in a casino, so I was working as a poker dealer. So a lot of late nights working with a lot of people who were interested in poker at the time, and I just so happened to meet all the people who I'm best friends with now. Looking at it like 12, 13 years later, we've been best friends ever since. So I'm very lucky in that respect.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Next question for you is, what can make you cry and what can make you really happy?
What can make me cry, I would say, is a really, really good film. Like a really good emotional film. Like usually, like it maybe for me, it's like not things you just expect. Like if I'm seeing a film about politics or something that's really good, I can find it to be like a tearjerker. And could I just ask again, what was the second part of the question?
And what make you really happy?
Really happy. I get really happy is any time that I'm making music. I'm very lucky that I get to do it for a living. So yeah, anytime I'm sitting in here in my little studio getting to create something new, I'm really happy.
Wow. Do you believe that happiness is a choice, Aaron?
Is happiness a choice? Yes, I would say that definitely it is a choice because I find that especially in the music industry, there's a lot of people who are maybe like a little bit jaded or unhappy, or maybe they don't realize how lucky they are to get to work in music. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's, for what an amazing field it is, there's some happy people, but I was expecting there to be more. So I feel like happiness definitely is a choice because of that.
And do you cry easily?
No, not easily. There was actually a long period of time where I hadn't cried and I thought maybe I forgot how to, but then I seen a really good film. So
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Right. So before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of work in the music industry? What do you like the most about it?
the biggest joy is when you get to work with someone who you're really on the same page with and you feel like you're creating something super super special. Like it's great when you get to make your own piece of music, but to say what I mean by that is if I'm producing a song for someone, or if I'm working making a soundtrack for a game, working with the person who's made the game, getting to create something collaborative is the biggest joy in getting to make music, I would say.
And the opposite side, what do you find most challenging about your career, your business?
Most challenging is definitely, even it makes me. It's difficult to even say the word because it feels very unartistic and musical. But for me, has been monetizing the career. So I've done music as a hobby for years while I worked other jobs, and in the last couple of years have been converting into full time, and it's been difficult to monetize. I guess I've just had to really kind of believe in my own abilities, and that all the years I've spent learning music, that I do kind of deserve to be paid working for people. But still, like it's just the industry itself is has become a lot more difficult. to make money in recent years. You know, with the rise of streaming and
Yeah.
different things like that.
And how music came into your life?
And music came into my life, yeah. I guess just through my parents. My parents aren't like they don't play any instruments, but I would say they have a good taste in music. Like my dad, especially, he
Hmm.
introduced me to Radiohead from a really young age. So they were my favorite band as a teenager and young adult. And yeah, just I've never really forgotten. I think it's the same with everyone. You always remember fondly the music you listened to when you're a teenager. I was lucky I
Hmm.
had my dad to show me bands like Radiohead and The Smiths and The Damned. So yeah,
Amazing. Great. Next question is, who is your biggest idol and what have you learned with this person?
my biggest idol. So for my biggest idol, I'm actually going to put someone that um I I would say they've only really become my idol this year, so it's quite recent. But
Mhm.
definitely, I feel like they're having a very big effect on me, and it's a music artist and producer called Thing. So really cool name Thing. So he's from Estonia, and he
Wow.
makes drum and bass and jungle music, similar to myself. But he is so prolific. So he has so many songs. I think he has like over 700 songs released. He
Wow.
releases a new song every week, and all of the songs are so good. And he's just made me really believe that, like the only thing stopping you from releasing a new song every week is yourself. I mean, if he can do it, like, why can't the rest of us?
Totally. What's the biggest joy of being Aran? What do you like the most about being you?
About being me, the biggest joy. Um, that's a really good question. I would say that the biggest joy about being me is, I would say that most of the time that I'm in a really positive mood, and I'd like to think that I maybe rub off on people, that um yeah, I just feel like I'm a positive person, and I'm a really good team player as well. Like, so I really get a real enjoyment out of being part of a team and helping my team succeed. So I feel like that translates really well into being in a musical project or into being a group of friends. So I guess that would be the biggest joy about being myself.
And do you have a big family, Aran?
Oh yeah, I have a very big family. So my I have like one brother, one sister, and my parents. But in terms of like extended family, I have, yeah, I actually don't even know the number, but I would say probably 30 plus cousins. Like,
Wow.
it's real old school Irish family. Everyone having lots of kids. So I have a very big family, and they're all really really nice. Get on really well with all of them. So I'm very lucky in that respect.
And when you start your career as a music producer, did you have the support of your parents, people around you, or was it a bit tricky for you at the time?
I guess I have had their support anytime that I've asked for it, but I haven't. I feel like I've maybe now and then asked them for support, but I'd like to think that I've been able to do it a lot by myself as well. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like this includes my friends as well. Like, I tried to not lean on them for support too much. I actually think that that's something that maybe holds back a lot of music artists in this day and age. Is they maybe think that or they end up thinking that they're making music for their friends and family, where really you're making music for people who have similar tastes to you. And, you know, if you're making it for your friends and family, it might actually get in your way. So
I see. I get it. All right. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
nice.
Right. Before the next question, let's ask something. Tell me 3 names in the music industry that you always be inspired by. Tell me 3 names that for you was like, wow, that's one of my big inspiration.
Oh, sure thing. So, number one biggest inspiration for me for my whole life is Pink Floyd. I loved music of Pink Floyd so much. And I know that they're, really retro, like they've been going since the 60s, but anytime I meet someone, if you find out they're a Pink Floyd fan, you can talk to them for hours about your favorite album, your favorite song. And I follow both the guys. Well, actually, all three of the guys have solo projects now. And it's such a shame that they were never able to kind of make new music again after they did their reunion. But I mean, Pink Floyd, just because of the emotional weight of their music, are my number one influence in music, definitely. Um, for number two, I would say I'll go for um Bicep. So Bicep are um they're an Irish electronic uh two-piece band. They've been going for a really long time. Really, really huge in electronic music. Amazing live show. I've seen them so much. Loads and loads of great music and really inspirational. Especially because I only got into electronic music later in my life, and it's been something I've been doing for years now. And I feel like when I got into it, they were who I was listening to, so I owe a lot of it to them. A lot of the keyboards you see around here will be things that they use when they're playing live, so they're definitely a really really big influence. And
And
my number three, I guess for number three, I'll go for. I feel like I've only got guys in there, so I'll get a girl in as well. So I'll go for number three would be Bjork. I'll go for. Really, really
oh,
love Bjork's music. I mean, being honest, like some of it is maybe a bit too weirdy for me, but I love the way that she's just so unique and herself, and she's always trying new things. Not afraid to seem like she's totally off the wall. So yeah, she definitely has given me confidence to don't be afraid, don't worry about what people think about you. Go just be yourself.
right. So now the question is gonna be a bit tougher now. One day
Yes.
we're gonna wake up in the morning with three missed calls on your phone from those three names you just mentioned right now. Which one you gonna call back straight away? Which one you gonna send a message? I'll call you back later. And the third one, you don't call back, you just ignore them for now.
Oh, that's a really good question. I have to say straight away it would be, um, well, Pink Floyd. I mean, just I guess that would mean that Roger Waters and Dave Gilmour in the same room. So I'm going to be calling them back straight away. Also I appreciate that they're both in their 80s now. So I'm if I leave it to later, I might not get another chance. Um, and I guess I would leave the message for I say Bjork. Because I would like to talk to Bjork at some stage, and this sounds really harsh for a Bicep, especially because they're Irish as well. But I guess if I'm going to have to miss out on someone, it's going to be them. I guess maybe on one hand, I think that maybe our paths might cross some other day, so I might rely on that.
They'll understand you. It's not every day that you receive a call from Pink Floyd. They'll understand you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Right. Next question is, what three things are you most grateful for?
Most grateful for, um, that's a very good question. I'd say I'm definitely really grateful for having met my partner. So her name is Deo. She's a
Oh,
really, really supportive partner and also an amazing artist. She's a tattoo artist.
wow.
She's a videographer and she's really, really talented, really motivated. I felt like before I knew her, I thought I was motivated, but she showed me like what it really means to like every day be working on your craft and growing and developing. So I'm
Wow.
really, really grateful for her. Second thing I'll be grateful for will be our dog, which is Snoop. He's a golden retriever. He's actually snoring right over here on the bed beside me. Um, now Snoop was Dale's dog before. He was already about 6 when I met him, but yeah, me and him are going for walks every single day now, and he's just the best dog ever. Like I don't think I could ever imagine not having a golden retriever
Oh,
since he's been in my life. So Deo and Snoop, and then the third thing I'm grateful for, um, I'm gonna say definitely. I hope this doesn't seem like a lame one, but I'd definitely say my health because I
hmm.
had in my 20s, like I had a few times where I had like, not perfect health. And it's only then you realize that like you can't put a price on it. Um, I had a tooth infection that I nearly died from. I did an
Oh,
Instagram post about it a while ago. It's a long story, but yeah, basically tooth infection. I went to the hospital and was told I had hours to live. If I hadn't come in, it was a real wake up call for me because before then, I was totally not working on music at all. Um, and then just apart from that as well, I had another 2 years where like I had a back injury and I couldn't, couldn't go to the gym, couldn't play football, couldn't work on music. So every day I wake up, I'm fit and healthy. I'm really, really thankful for that.
Oh, as I could see your eyes shining talking about Dale, your partner. So tell me so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from her?
The most meaningful lesson that I've learned from her, I guess I would say that, hmm, yeah, I guess she's extremely, extremely relaxed and easygoing. Um, and she's at the same time so hardworking and so productive. So I guess I would say that I've learned from her the importance of relaxation and of giving yourself time off and not being hard on yourself for overworking. And I also would say as well, she's very, very sober. Like she doesn't drink at all, like or anything. And I guess not that I ever was like a massive drinker, but I've definitely learned that being super, super productive and being sober are two things that go quite well together.
Okay, so she's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say? She's watching.
If she's watching right now, I would say, actually, she got dinner earlier without me, so maybe I'd say like maybe next time ask if I want something. But no, I'd say just thanks for because this whole I should be really thankful to her because this whole space that I'm working in, it's a music studio, was originally a tattoo studio, so she provided all this for me when we moved in
Wow,
together. She like this room just used to be full of like boxes and all old stuff, and she emptied it all out. She painted the walls, and made it the perfect place to make lots of really, really nice music. So I'd say to her, thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
beautiful, amazing. Two questions left. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, work in the music industry. Tell me a moment or a situation that for you, you're never gonna forget. Something that when you think about your career, you go like, you know what, this moment I always have close to my heart.
Oh, that's a good question. Um, yeah, I would say there was one moment in particular was so I went to college to study music production for games. Um,
Hmm.
and at the time it was absolutely amazing, really, really brilliant. It was quite challenging because uh, I joined the course and my piano playing wasn't at the level it was supposed to be at, but they let me in anyway because my music production was at the level. So I was kind of learning to play high level piano and also doing the course and working at
Wow.
the same time. And I was also releasing my own music and in a band. So I that this year I had so much things going on, and it just so happened that my last week I remember submitting my last project, and then I had my debut EP coming out, and I was practicing for a gig where in the band I was playing drums with, and I just remember the feeling of finishing all of that, fit like handing in my last project, and I was like, I'd never been so tired in my life. I really, really felt like a zombie. Like I remember going walking around Dublin and like feeling like, wow, I've never been this exhausted. But I was so happy that I managed to do it, and I had a real sense of achievement in my life. For probably one of I didn't get that when I did college the first time I did English. It was really good, but I didn't really have that when I finished. But after
Uh-huh.
finishing music college, it was really important to me, especially because I only really started music later in life. Like I was already 28 when I started, so I felt like it was a big achievement.
I see. All right. Next question is, if you could have a superpower, what that would be and why?
A superpower? Oh, that's a really good question. If I could have a superpower, hmm. See, as I said earlier, I'm a big history buff, so I'd love to be able to go and to see different times in history. Like I don't know necessarily if I'd like to live in different times because I really appreciate that our lives are so much easier than they were 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago. You know, like, geez, we think we have it hard. But I would like to, if I could have just like, if I could go travel somewhere for a day and then come back, like, I think that would be a pretty cool superpower.
Beautiful. Okay, last question. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Let's run. Right. Last question for you is, what would you do if time were frozen for 24 hours?
Time were frozen for 24 hours. What would I do? I mean, I guess I'd be pretty much doing what I'm doing. Maybe if it was frozen for 24 hours, I'd make sure to make the most of it. I'd spend it with Deo and Snoop. I'd spend it with Deo and Snoop, like, because I feel like even though we live together, we're both always working so much, we don't actually always get to spend that much time together. So if it was frozen, me, her, and Snoop, I'm sure we could find something fun to do.
Sweet. Very sweet. Right, so the end, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Yes.
Let's start with money.
Money. Oh, evil.
Fear.
Fear, I would say rational.
Family.
Family is super important.
Life.
Life is precious.
Love.
Amazing.
Religion.
Religion. Dubious.
Sex.
Enjoyable.
Politics.
Oh, surprisingly interesting. I honestly word, sorry.
Okay, not a problem. Friendship.
Friendship. Wow. Multifaceted.
Desire.
Desire. Oh, I would say burning.
Regret.
Regrets. Non-existent.
Success.
Yes. It. Situational.
I like that. Wish.
Say reality.
Happiness.
Achievable.
One word for Dublin.
Grey. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. It's really grey right now.
I need to share something fun with you. Fun fact. I've been living in England for a long time, and one of my first trip I did was going to Dublin. It was February, and some friends for the short break, just for the long weekend. And some friends told me, "Oh my God!" It was my other three friends, and everyone said, "Oh my God, it's gonna be rainy. It's gonna be miserable. It's gonna be cold. It's like London." And I was like, "Oh my God, okay." When I got there, we were so lucky. It was 3 days sunny that I never seen something like that before. I was like, "Wow, we were very, very lucky." It was very sunny.
Wow, in February, that really, really is lucky because I think this February we had, like, I think it was a record that it rained every single day. It's the first time in like 60 years or since they were measuring. But yeah,
I
nice.
couldn't believe it. Literally, I couldn't believe. I remember lying down in the park, the sun, like after our brunch. It was so cool. Literally, we were so
Nice,
like.
nice. I'm happy for
One
you.
word for Yes, I have some pictures actually. I remember some pictures of them sightseeing, exploring the city, and it was very, very sunny, very warm.
Nice.
One word for Ireland.
Oh, sorry, you cut out there. Was it Ireland? Did you say
Yeah, one word for Ireland.
Ireland? Say, um, musical.
Okay. One word for music producer.
Wizard.
And the last one now, music. One word.
Magic.
Beautiful. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet Dale for a coffee and I'm going to ask
Yes.
her, define Aaron in one positive and one negative word only. What she would say about you?
For positive, she would say that I'm very supportive. Like that that's like, I like she's also a wedding photographer, and like I drive her to different weddings, I'm always available to help her with anything that she needs, to the best of my
Mm-hmm.
ability. And I think that I'm also like a good influencer on her in terms of, just I feel like we both help each other stay balanced and relaxed, and not get dragged down by real world stuff. For negative, I think she would say that I can be annoying sometimes. Like sometimes I have a weird way of telling jokes where like if I can tell that a joke is annoying, I'll like tell it two or three or four times, and like I think that I do it because I think it's funny. But sometimes she's like, "No, this is actually like it's really not funny." And I'm always trying to get it to the point where it's funny again, but sometimes she's just like, "No, please stop doing that."
It ruin everything. It make even worse if you try again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I can't help it. My dad does the same thing, and I've inherited off him. So I literally can't. I wish I could help it, but I can't.
Let's play now, Aaron, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Aaron, before you ask me the question, tell me what music has taught you so far.
What music has taught me so far? The a big thing music has taught me is that it's never too late to start. Because, like I said, I started when I was 28,
Wow.
and in my 20s, I for some reason, maybe because I grew up in the 90s and it was very youth focused there, I thought I was
Mm-hmm.
already too old to learn a new instrument or to learn music production, so I didn't. But it's never too late. Like a guy who was in my course is in his 50s, well,
Wow.
maybe 40s or 50s, um, and he just had a song go super viral last year, and he's like super successful now. So I'm like, in
Wow.
2026, you can actually make music at any age if you're willing to put in the hard work.
I love it. Such an inspiration. I think age is just in our minds, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think can do anything anytime. I
yeah,
think
absolutely, man.
before, for me as well, I grew up in the 90s, I was born in the 80s, growing up in the 90s. And I remember when you were 40, I had the feeling that you were already so old.
Yeah,
Nowadays, 40, it's a new 30. You know what I mean? It's so
40 is the new 30. Yeah,
sure, it's such a great, it's so different. And again, when you have these examples, it proves us that, you can do anything anytime in your life. There are no rules. I think
yeah,
the stigma is being broken already, for sure.
yeah, and especially with music as well, because I've also known people who have had success when they're very young. Sometimes if it happens too young, you're not ready for it.
Really. And you can get distracted as well, and maybe you don't
Yeah,
enjoy the time. So I think everything happens in the right time. You just need to put your heads on it and your hard work, your feelings and everything, and it happens naturally. And of
yeah,
course, just break the stigma. I understand sometimes you go like, oh my God, I wish I started earlier. But it's not, maybe you were not ready, or maybe you wouldn't enjoy the much as you enjoy right now. So everything just happened in the right time for sure. That's what I believe.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I couldn't agree more. That's really beautifully put. Fair play to you.
Okay, Aaron, you can ask me a question now.
Yeah. So my question is going to be it's going to be history related. So, if you could live in any place and any time, so any place on Earth, any time in history, where would you pick?
Right. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a very simple answer, but it's gonna be the genuine answer, and it's the very thing that came to my mind. I would love to have my age as I am right now. I'm my age, and to have, let's say, a long weekend in New York City in the 80s.
Oh, nice.
I would love that. I'd love to go to
Yeah.
Studio 54. I'd love to have
Yeah.
that vibe without so much technology that we have right now. Not against, I love technology, it's amazing. However, I think the 80s was an explosion of art, of music, of colors, of
Yeah.
everything. And I think, I was a baby, I was very young, I would never be able to do that. But when I look back and I see videos on YouTube, or when I see a little bit about the 80s. I love the 80s. It's my best day as the best decade of music for me.
Oh,
And
definitely.
I when I look back, I was like, oh my God, I'd love to be there. It's my age right now, just to feel that vibe, to feel that, area that's it's never gonna be back anymore. It's just yeah, I'd love that. I know it's a very genuine answer, but that's what comes to my mind. I'd love
No,
that.
that's a brilliant answer, and I completely agree. And like you said, there won't ever be another decade where the music is like that because
I know.
it was so like new and
Yeah,
hopeful, and
yeah.
I love that was like I'm a really big fan, and I make quite a bit of 80s music, but the synthesizer sounds they had there, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
so good. Like the film soundtracks, oh,
Oh my
but
God. Not I think the explosion of these big artists in the 80s, not just that, but the ones they were already big, and when they hit the 80s, they just made even bigger. And that's why the explosion happened, during that time with music and colors and people express themselves through arts. And I
yeah.
think it was a very great decade. So love that. I'd love to be there just for the weekend, just to feel the vibe. I think I would enjoy that for sure.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I really like that.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I really enjoyed that. Thanks so much, William. That's really nice. I really respect what you're doing. That's a fair play. Like it's great to see people putting out positivity into the world. The world needs
Thank you.
more positivity in this day and age. Like it really does.
Thanks so much, Aaron. Thanks for taking the time. I know you are a busy man and you made time for the interviews. I appreciate your time for sure.
Yeah, and sorry about the technology
No,
issues.
no, not a
They're-
problem at all. It's nothing. This is just it just happened. You know what I mean? It's all good for sure. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Positive message. I would say that for me anyway, I found that I'm happiest in life when there's sometimes when the real world, like it's inevitable, you have to deal with real world problems like bills and school, and like maybe you have a bad boss at work. I've had to deal with all them so many times, but just to never let them get you down too much, and like that as well, when you do achieve success or when you're really happy, it's great to always keep your feet in the ground. Don't let it run away with you, because inevitably there's going to be a time when it's
Wow,
going to be tougher again. So I would say that, yeah, don't let the real world either inflate you too much or deflate you. So yeah, I guess there
beautiful.
you go.
Love that. Amazing. Thanks again. Regards to your friends, regards to your family and your partner. And keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay. Have a good night.
You
Okay.
too, William. It was great. Thanks so much for having me, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks so much. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye now. Bye bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.